because we understand that once a week for half an hour to get some training isn't always going to be enough, and you can't always take things in, and this is why we keep it to half an hour, because your time is valuable and you can only take so much in at a time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pass over to Mark now, and he's going to bring on this training of contact, care and communication, and I'm sure you're all going to enjoy it. Okay, brilliant stuff. We've got groups of people all over the country today, which is fantastic. We've got Angus up in Edinburgh, Christine Jordan's over Manchester way. Tonight we've actually got Mark Walsh speaking for us, which is brilliant. He's a fantastic asset to the team and a great person to work with, and he's going to be covering contact, care and communication. These webinars are going to be recorded.
My name's Mark, and some may know me. I did a presentation, a webinar, I think around about a month, 6 weeks ago now, on planning, and that went quite well, I believe. I'm not a big believer in keeping things short and sweet and not going on for hours and hours. So I like to do my presentations, and I do professional presentations through my job, and I find it's much better to present a short, simple, in a simple manner, and a short way of actually presenting the information. So that's what I like to do, and I guess other people like that. As Chris says, it's difficult sometimes to take all the information in. If you're getting it thrown at you, there's too much on to get too busy slides. So I've just gone for very simple slides. Hopefully you'll get value from what I've done. Okay. So this as Chris said, is a webinar which is centered on contact, care and communication. It's a very, very important part of the business. When you start off, you don't really have these skills. You don't really have the ability to communicate with people properly, I guess. I mean, you might do, like me, you come from a professional environment and you have some communication skills, but you're always learning. There's always things to learn. I've certainly learned an awful lot through being involved in Clean Easy over the years, and a lot of it's been very, very helpful, transferable back into my job, what I do. So I've seen progress in myself, my personal development, through learning what I've done with Clean Easy. So we're going to touch a little bit on that as well. But as we said, we're just going to go through his contact, care and communication. It's only actually about 10 slides, so it's not an awful slides, but there's a lot of content. Okay, so we'll move on. Okay, so we've got a fantastic reference materials. If you do hear some background noise here, I've got one of my babies still up, so she's still very, very awake. I think it's the light nights which is causing I've got a little bit of a technical issue here where people think it's going forward, but I'll try and pull it back. So fantastic reference materials for you. There are some fantastic books out there. The books which I've read and have helped me, the main one, the principal ones, is the book by the network coach, Edward Ludbrug. And Ed Ludbrug's book, really, I mean, that is one of the Bibles, one of the real Bible on caring and communicating with your team. Just 1 second here, I'll just see if I can pause that. I'll pause that there. This might work this time. Okay, guys. Sorry about that. I'm still learning this webinar system, so like I say, I've got a bit of personal development to do here. And another great book, which is a bit more of a heavier read, is Personality Plus. Now, this book really sort of, I mean, it was strange really, because I read this book when I was probably around about 18 months into Clean Easy. Rob Forster recommended it. But prior to that, I'd actually done something with my work, very, very similar. Not the same, but very similar. And even in corporate sense and educational sense, academic sense, they still use these sort of 4 personality types. And you don't sort of brand people into one personality. They sort of go across different, you get a mixture in your own blend, if you like, in yourself of personality types. So it's good reading, but a little bit heavy. Now, I'd say these 2 books and the CD, which a lot of the content from this particular webinar is coming directly from Gene Day's Contact, Care and Communication. I was actually fortunate enough to be there on the day she actually delivered this particular presentation at Sheffield, which is a few years ago now. I think I was about a year or so into the business when I got it, but it's of great value. The actual CD itself is fantastic, and the way she describes how she looks after a team, and a lot of the content, as I said, comes from this webinar, has been taken from that. Okay, but it's very relevant. What I'd say to you with these reference materials, they are studies. Okay, they are a study, they are not just a read. You've got to sort of look into network coach and contact care and communication. as being, and there are other materials out there as well, but these are actually studies. They're not something you got to look at and read them and maybe give a bit, like, who will study a book when you're doing for an exam? That's the sort of thing, because you're getting that much information, and whenever you read something again, you see something again in that material that you didn't pick up the first time. So they are very, very, very good books, okay, and CD. Right, I think I've got the hang of this now, so we'll move it on one slide, hopefully. It was going mad a few minutes ago, wasn't it, however? Okay, so leading on to personal development, I'm very, very big on personal development in every walk of life, not just in cleaning, but also in the corporate world, as I mentioned before, and academic-wise. You've got to be learning all the time. There's so much material to learn. You'll not know everything. I always believe a team is something of a mixture, a blend of people who have different experience and different skills to offer. But as a person who's going to lead a team, and I get this presentation is mainly aimed at people who are leaders, okay, who are all going to be leaders, or intending to be leaders in this business. So this is where you've got to be looking at how you can, and the statement there is fantastic, how you can become more for your team, how you as a person can become more, and you can only become more by personally developing yourself. And it's interesting, really, because people sort of put the personal development, a lot of people, and guess you guys on the call tonight are not in this category because you're here now to learn, but a lot of people put their personal development as sort of an afterthought. They look at the retail side of the business, they look at the sponsoring, they look at all the rest of it, going to a meeting, they don't take notes, but you see it all the time, but the really important cornerstone of the business that affects every aspect, every area of a business is the personal development. So it's really important that you actually to study that. So Jim Rohn's saying, and if you look at any Jim Rohn book, is absolutely fantastic. I've listened to a lot of Jim Rohn on CDs. I travel up and down the place, and one of his statements is to have more. If you want more, or you have more, you've got to become more as a person. Okay, it's a really, really big, and you can only do that by developing yourself. Now, when you come into the sort of basic, if you read the 45-second presentation, again, it's a really good book to read, but it's got a lot of good, valuable material in it about network marketing. The 3 stages of network marketing are generally expose somebody to network marketing, involve them in what you do, and then upgrade them. Well, we're dealing here with upgrade. We're dealing with actually, well, to the point, getting them involved and upgrading people, okay? Now, the big money, it's a direct quote from Gene Day, and it's absolutely true, is the big money in network marketing isn't in the retail, okay? It's not even in the sponsoring people. It's pretty simple to sponsor people who get enough leads and sponsor them. It's actually coaching. How you actually affect a person's performance by coaching skills that you gain. And that's the important part. Again, to be a good coach, then you've got to work hard on yourself within the business, and one of the sayings is to work, well, you really work hard on your business as well, I guess, to try and grow it, but you've got to work as hard, if not harder, on yourself to develop yourself to be a leader. Become the leader that you seek, okay? You want to become the person that you're looking for. Instead of waiting for that person to come along, you take the role, actually be proactive, take it up, and you become that person, okay? And become a more effective coach to provide your team members, or give value to your team members. This is what it's all about, okay? Giving value, making sure that you're somebody who's in the know. You only get that through experience, I guess, in any walk of life. But with this game, in Clean Easy and network marketing, you only learn by experience, but you can also learn by personal development. So I'm a really, really big person on personal development, and as I know some of the people are in the business. And it's quite funny, really, the people that are really into it seem to be the people who have the more success, because you understand more, okay? Right, so this slide here, I got full flight with this. I remember where I am. It's Phil Felt Found, encouraging your team members. I can't remember what I said now. It really was something I didn't know much about when I started off with all the education and whatever else I had and experience, I knew I was a reasonable communicator with people. I didn't know about this particular thing. So what Feel Found is, and maybe you have heard of it, was really to help people, I guess, when they've experienced something not good with the business, not good with network marketing, or not good with cataloguing or whatever. It might be that somebody's had a bad pickup, and it happens a lot. When people start off at the start, they have a bad pickup. They do as you say, they go and put the catalogues out and they do all the right things and nothing wrong with what they've done. But unfortunately, the fish don't bite for whatever reason. They don't get the catalogues. They might pick up 30 quid off 150 bucks. It's happened to me. So why say, well, I know how you feel. The thing is to empathise with the person and let them know how you've been there. If you're an experienced distributor, you'll have been there. You'll have had pickups. You'll have had poor ones. You'll have had great ones. But you just got to, I had a guy start recently, and lovely guy, really organised. Went out his first pickup, put 100 bucks out, I think it was, just put 100 out to see how it went, and he picked up 30 quid. So, but what I did before he went out actually was proactive and said to him, look, it's going to be up and down at the start, so be prepared for that. So he expected it. I didn't expect bad to happen, but expected something to happen, which wasn't, if it didn't go well. And that went on for 2 or 3 pickups. But then he's I think it was his third or his fourth pickup, he picked up 300 quid off one pickup. So it balanced it out. And when we actually did the figures at the end, it worked out the pound of catalogue, £1.3 I think it was a catalogue. So it does actually help people to understand. And if you do come from a point where to empathise with the person and make them feel, yeah, I know how you feel. I know how you feel when you lost a few catalogues, so you didn't quite get the orders you were expecting. And I've been there. I know what it feels like. So, but I know that, you've lost a few catalogues, but if you invest in another box, then I just think things will improve and, you'll get more orders. Now, isn't that better than saying to somebody, "I'll just buy some more catalogues"? Because that's the standard answer to people, and I never said that. I just say, well, look, just invest some more catalogues and you'll get some more orders. And I think that was a great way of doing it. So you feel, but the feel felt fine. Yeah, I know you feel, but I found. Now you don't have to say it like religiously, like this is what I feel. I know how you feel, and this is what I felt, and this is what I found. You can just be natural in the way that you talk to people. But that is a very, very good thing to be able to do with new team members in particular. Okay, we'll try now and move on without knocking myself out here. Okay, so next slide. So here we are. We've got this. Give your new team members tracks to run on, and really, it's just letting them know we've got as I said, we have got a great system with Clean Easy, in the way that we start off people distributing catalogues, and then further on, sponsoring systems and everything else. And as Chris says, now we're sort of gelling all this together by these presentations, which this one probably has to be re-recorded now because of what's going on. But what we'll give people will be able to tap in and get this information at source. Okay, so they'll be able to go onto Superstars Team website and pick up this information. Now, what we do is we have, like I said, what we do. We have an induction program for people when they start. This is really just a series of documents which we've thrown together, put together, and we generally give them, phase those documents into people so that when they start, they've got something, a system to learn to work with. Now I'll go on to it a little bit later, but we follow that up with information. Okay, so we spend a lot of time with new people. Okay, we can keep a tracker on every new team member, and I guess keep a tracker is not just like most people think. Well, keep a track on their progress and what they do, but keep a track on what they want from the business. What it is that they want, how they like to communicate. Because there are lots of different ways to communicate. So how often I've got a guy who only wants to be spoken to once a week. Fine, that's what he wants. He doesn't want me ringing up every other day. So he wants me to ring up so get to know your people, get to know what they want, get to know what the expectations are. That's important, okay? I make them aware of the company incentives. You've got to know what's available. And one of the big issues is, I know people when they start, there's a lot of things going on, they're confused, they've got to get the catalogues out, they've got to get this out. They're not really taking a lot of notice of the targets, the incentives, rapid start bonuses. So it's good to keep them focused on those sort of things, okay? And you can only do that by the contact you're keeping with that person, okay? I contact people every other day, new people, at least every other day by telephone, direct. I do not rely on email, text, or social media. They may be additional. It's very unusual for me to use that kind of communication, email, text, or social media at the outset. I tend to be make contact by telephone, or indeed, if it's geographically possible, I'll go and see them. Okay, I generally go and see them once they've put an order on or they've got themselves started. Okay, but there's no reason why you couldn't if you wanted to get to know people. I mean, a lot of people are sponsoring by the internet now, and I guess what we tend to do is get them started, get them going, get the induction program, and then maybe go and have a chat to them. Okay. And advise them, of course, to attend the events. The events are important. They're a good hub for communication, to get to meet people, not just yourself, but other people in the team. So all of these things is giving a person a system, okay, and you're embedding that system into that person as you go along, okay, and effectively, as we call it, giving them tracks to run on. Now, if I disappear here, I'll have to switch off and come back again, but we'll give it a go. I'll get a call from Chris now in a minute, I guess. Caring for people, I mean, yeah, care for people. Care. One of the things is valuing people, and I always look at this as from again, empathetic point of view. If look at yourself in their shoes when you started out. What were your expectations of the person that brought you into the business? What did you want from them? What service did you want them to provide for you? Okay, and the saying is, obviously, value everybody in your team, no matter how, whatever they want. Don't just go drawn towards one person because you're being a bit closer to them than another. Value everyone, okay, but rely upon no one. Okay, rely upon no one. People, you've got to understand, people, you've got to have a lot of patience, a hell of a lot of patience at times. You've got to have patience because you've got to understand that people do learn at different rates. You know, I'm sort of a medium learner of things, so I just work hard at learning. But a lot of people sometimes learn at different rates, and they're slower than I am, and some are very fast. So you've got to, I guess, appreciate that people learn at different rates and be patient with that. Because some people, if you're not patient with that, might disappear from your team when it just maybe take a bit longer for them to understand things. Okay. Take a genuine interest in people. Listening's a massive skill, and if you can just listen to them. That's all you want you to do sometimes, and just listen to what they have to say, but take an interest in what they say as well by asking the right questions back, as we call it, well-defined questions. Ask them back, you know, about what they've said to you, or even paraphrase what they've said to you, so it helps them understand, you know, that you are listening to them, what they're saying, and emphasise, as I've said. Emphasise with people, but don't have any pity parties with people. Pity parties is where you sit around and sort of feel sorry for each other or feel sorry for them. Don't do that, because there's nothing to be gained from having pity parties. Help them track their progress. We've already mentioned that already. And I guess just be there for them. Just be there for people. So I guess you're getting the idea now. Contact is obviously keeping contact, getting tracks to run on. Care is obviously being there for them and valuing them and listening to what they have to say, but not pitying them, but emphasising with them. Communication, we've already really touched on this, and it's very, very simple. You've got to understand or differentiate between information and communication. You can overload people with information. Okay, so you just want to be able to communicate with your people effectively. That means, I think the most effective way by a long way is to be face-to-face with somebody, or belly-to-belly, as they say in America. And if that's not possible, telephone. Okay, people are quite good on the telephone now. I mean, technologies nowadays are available on telephone, smartphones, and everything else. Even this one where you can talk, is it called face-to-face or face whatever? Again, we're going to have video for phone calls. Got Skype. That's fantastic. I didn't put it on my list here, but that's great. So that kind of communication is fantastic. Okay, it's individual to a person, and they appreciate that. But you can provide information as support via email, text, and social media. Okay, so don't use them as first choice. You might find someone in your team who says, well, I like to be text, and I have a person in my team who loves text. Fantastic. So I'll text them, but I'll still ring them. Okay, I'll still talk to them, and I'll still get in front of that person, because it's important for them to be, you can't beat that face-to-face communication. They can look at each other in the eye, and you can talk to each other directly, and I think that is very, very important. So be careful when you are offering communication. You're not just throwing information, because that's dangerous to your business. Okay, it's dangerous just to give information without communicating with people, and that goes for any business. Another important point, I guess, is how relationships, because this is what this business is all about. It's about building relationships with people. I think it was said on Sunday at the seminar, we're not in a catalogue business, we're in a people business. If you want to be, have a successful team and you want to be a leader of that team, you have to build relationships with people, and good relationships with people and trusting relationships with people so that they trust you and your judgment and your guidance, okay, and you offer them value. So always think of that value, because whenever you're talking to somebody, always give them something to go away with thinking, yeah, that was good, okay. So relationships are very, very important. You are in a relationship with everybody in your team, metaphorically speaking, of course. And from another perspective, how do you see yourself? A lot of people look and see and say, look at other people, and they have a view or an opinion of someone else. But how do you see yourself? How do you view yourself? How do you come over? I mean, we all might like to know how we see ourselves, but it might be different when you look at. I mean, I'll tell you what was a great one. I'll tell you what was a great one the other way. We actually did at work. We did a thing called VBS. I'm not in selling. I'm not a seller. I'm an engineer. But we did a thing called VBS because I actually get standing in front of customers a lot in my job. I communicate and I stand in front of customers from a technical point of view. But I make the odd sale. I enjoy it. I said to something today. I sell the odd £3,000 of stuff here, and I really enjoy it. It gives you a bit of a buzz. I like selling, but it's based upon the value that I offer and the technical support. Now, what they added on is what they call value-based selling, the VBS. And what they did, we went on this course for 2 days. It was fantastic. Nice hotel, all the rest of it. But what they did, they videoed us on the second day. And they put us in front of a customer, and then we had to just go in and sort of the customer, this particular guy with me, were quite nasty. I thought he set me up really, but it was quite nasty. But what I had to do was I had to respond. And the video was sort of seeing how I'd respond. This went up for 15 minutes, mind. So it was quite hostile, and I thought, well, this is not me. I'm quite nice. Anyway, one thing or another, it went very well. But the video, when you watched it back, you thought, wow, you could see yourself. You saw yourself and how you performed. Now, how I saw myself on that video was different than what I had in my mind. Okay, and that was really sort of, woo. A couple of things there. First of all, I was like way overweight, which I'm doing something about now. And secondly, it was just the way that I viewed myself, and I presented myself to that person under pressure. And I'm pretty calm under pressure, but however, you still saw yourself differently. It was a really interesting exercise. So that's something you maybe want to think about. I don't go around videoing yourself and stuff like that, but I just think you've got to maybe consider how you come across to people. Okay, are you a good communicator? Are you clear? Are you concise with the communication? Or do you wander on and on and on? Do you really give value, or is it just gobbledygook what you talk? You've got to be a good communicator, and because communication is a key skill in any industry, then it can be learned. You can learn how to communicate with people. Okay, how to become a good communicator. Okay, and I guess just be approachable to people, be there for people, make yourself available if someone gives you a call and you're busy. Maybe you can't answer the phone, then leave a message, ring them back as soon as you can. Okay, and treat your team members like you would your customers. So if you build a customer base with your customers, you want to look after them because you know that they're going to give you future business, and we all do that. We all do that. So why not treat your team members the same way? Because they will give you oodles and oodles of future business through the volume that they'll produce if you just look after them. So treat your team members just like you treat your customers. Okay, and I think that's just about it, guys. Sorry for all the interruptions because it wasn't intentional, of course. I think we've got the last slide here, which really is a question. Oh no, it's not. Hang on, no, I'm wrong. Okay, we've got recognition here. Of course, it's key in our business to praise people, to make sure that they feel valued themselves, and everybody likes it, no matter what they say. I'm quiet, I stand at the back, but I like sometimes people saying, pat on the back, well done, good job. I got it this week at work, it was fantastic, it made me feel great. One of the guys came down and said, you did a great job there, Mark, well done, very proactive, very responsive, did a great job, customers happy, new business, great, fantastic, okay? So it's good, it feels good to everybody to have praise and recognition for what they do. So a new distributor's success is in your hands. Praise them. If they come in with a first order, they put the first drop out, praise them. If they make 10% or they make the first fast track bonus, praise them. Just be there, praise them. Tell them they're doing fantastic, really well. That sort of language is great, but be careful with your language. Be careful that you're talking up all the time. Talk the business up. It's a great business. Okay. Reassure people if they're not feeling too great about things. Like go back to feel, felt, found. Encourage people. You can never motivate anybody. That's got to come from within. But you can encourage people. You can make them see things from a different angle. and that might bring about their own motivation. Okay, and build belief, of course, because belief, if once you've got belief in this business, then you really are on the right way, on the right track. Okay, so and that'll be another subject in itself, belief. And I think that, guys, is just about it. So I think there's a question slide at the end. There you go. I've made it to the end. Any questions? So I don't know if there's any questions. We can take questions. I'm not sure if I can do that. I've got a chat box open here, but I haven't seen anybody writing it yet. So I wonder if anybody's there. Okay, great. Hang on, I've got some communication. Just 1 second while I catch up what's going on. Let's see what last bits were saying. Hang on. Okay, yeah, got Angus. Thanks, Mark. That was great. Thank you very much, Angus, for that. Thanks, Mark. That was great. You're one of the best communicators in the team. Oh, God, that's great. Fantastic. That really is. Thanks, Chris. Yeah, that's great. I'm getting I like that. Yeah, well, as I say, it's always something that if I can offer value to people, and when you come away with comments like that, I mean, as I said, you say best communicator. No, we're all good communicators. It's just a skill. It's a skill. That's all you need. Okay, guys. So thanks for tonight. If anybody's got a question there, I'll answer the question. You'd have to type it in, and I'll answer the question. If anybody's got a question about this, but if you haven't, I'll give it a second or two. If you haven't, then I'll just wish you good night, and I'll get these kids to bed. So doing my head in. Okay, Faye, thank you very much. That's fantastic. Thank you. So we will be having more trainings. Hopefully they'll go better than this one tonight. But thanks, Graham, and thanks, Jeff, again. Yeah, and that's right. Jeff just pointed out that's very, very important. Jean Day, who was this material has come from Jean Day's CD, which I recommend. If you have not heard that, get hold of a copy. Just speak to your sponsor or something. They'll have one. I certainly have one for my team. But she will be at the next success seminar. She's given a presentation, and she's a fantastic speaker, a fantastic, passionate woman about what she does. Real live wire, and such a good communicator. You think that what you got tonight, she's fantastic. She's off the scale. So I think this seminar is the 7th, I think, is that right, or the 8th? I'm just checking my diary now. That is, I think, the 7th or the 8th of July. So if you haven't got your ticket, yeah, the 8th of July. So if you haven't got your ticket, the 10 quid, I mean, I go to lots and lots of trainings, and they are really, 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 expensive. And what you get at the seminar is a real treat. And Faye just pointed out there rightly that Nadine Ward, who was at last seminar with a party plan, will be at the Trickle Trout Hotel next Tuesday night. So she'll be going through the party plan. And I have to say that that it's one of the things that I'm not fully understanding. So I'm looking forward to talking to Nadine next week. Okay. So thanks for that, guys. Is there anything else I've missed, or anybody? Nadine's a clean. Yes, she is. Yeah, she's certainly funny. Yeah, she is. Okay, guys. I'll thanks for that tonight. Hopefully, it's been of value, as I said, and you've enjoyed that. So say Keely. Yeah, speak soon. And that's one of my team, I think, Keely. There. Yeah, speak soon, Mark. So great. That's fantastic. Thank you for listening. Thank you for coming in, and we'll speak soon. Take care. Bye now.
Brilliant. That was excellent. Thanks very much. And the participants was absolutely brilliant. It's been the most that we've ever had on a team session. Promote the next one is next Thursday. We'll get this training video sorted as soon as possible and get it on the team website, which will be the superstarsteam.info website, and you'll be able to get it there. So I will speak to you next time on next Thursday. Thanks, guys.